Praise the name of the Lord. I want to talk about the era of the manifestation of the prophetic mothers. Womanhood is a call. Every woman is called by God. No woman ever chose to be created a woman. It was the decision of God to have created us all women. And God has a plan. God has a mandate. God has an intention, a desire why He created us women. So the place of a woman in destiny is very, very important. The place of a woman is so important. That was why that Satan left Adam and went to Eve. Because Satan knew that the moment he would get Eve, he has gotten Adam. He has gotten the children also. He has gotten every plan that God has. Because the beauty of a woman is that she is the central focus that revolves every other thing that God has created. So Satan saw the place of the woman and he decided to go and tempt the woman and not Adam himself, who is supposed to be the head of the family. That is how unique women are. The value God has placed on women is so high in destiny. And so womanhood is a call and motherhood is a ministry. Being a mother is an opportunity of being able to recreate through the womb of the woman a likeness of God. Because in Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, God said, let us create man in our image after our own likeness. So God expects the woman to be able to walk with Him in order to be able to give birth to children who are in the image and likeness of God. But no woman can be able to reproduce her kind except she is also in the nature of God. And that is why God has given us as women and made it possible that we will also have the priesthood. The Bible said He made us royal priests, both the male and the female, so that the woman will use her altar as a mother to be able to walk with God, to reproduce God's own kind. The position and the mandate of God upon women is so high in destiny. And so women need to understand who they are in destiny. Women need to understand the purpose of God for creating them women, and most especially mothers. It is not just enough to give birth to children. Are you giving birth to children who are in the image and likeness of God? That must be important. So every woman should be able to follow the heart of God. Every woman should be able to work on herself so she can be able to reproduce her kind who are supposed to be in the image and likeness of God. It is a mandate. It is an ordinance. It is the purpose why God has created us. So the question now is, are you reproducing your kind that are in the image and likeness of God? If you are not, then you have a whole lot of assignments to do. The era of the prophetic manifestation of mothers simply means that every mother needs to prepare her children in the place of passing a decree in line with the will of God, in line with the desire of God, in line with the plan of God for your children. Every mother ought to know the will of God concerning her children. Every mother needs to walk with the Holy Spirit to be able to prophetically speak the heart of God in the place of prayers into the life of her children. Every child has a destiny to fulfill for God. Every child has a purpose why God has created that child. You don't have an ordinary child. Every child you have is unique. Is a unique gift from God that has a commission for God, that has a purpose why God has given you that child. So you as a mother needs to know the heart of God to now begin to prayerfully position your children in destiny to manifest in the order that God has created them for. Being prophetic means speaking into the womb of the future of the child. Being prophetic means knowing the heart of God and walking in harmony with the heart of God to bring the heart of God into manifestation. And then you as a mother being committed, seeing it as a responsibility, seeing it as a commitment, seeing it as a burden to ensure that your children are manifesting the nature of God and manifesting the likeness of God. But remember, you cannot give your child what you don't have. That is why every mother must work on herself. Every mother should be able to know, where am I lagging in the things of God? Where is it that I'm not in the likeness of God myself? Because the place of a woman is so important because of her womb. Remember, the womb is the very first place that every child comes into. And so if the woman is not spiritually, sensitive to knowing the will of God and not spiritually prepared to be in the likeness of God, she will not be able to reproduce the kind of God. That is why the place of women is very important in destiny. And it is our responsibilities as women to be able to know the heart of God, to work on ourselves, to know that our position as mothers, as wives, are very, very important in the life of our children, in the life of our husband, and in the society at large. Why the whole world is having a problem is that most women don't understand who they are in destiny. Most women don't understand their prophetic altars. Most women don't understand the prophetic ordination. Most women don't understand their prophetic mantle, and so there's a confusion, and they are reproducing their kind that are so worldly. That is not the call of God for women. That is not the call of God for mothers. The prophetic altar of a woman is so important, and that every mother should know her place in destiny, that she is committed, she is mandated, she is ordained by God to be able to reproduce God's own kind. It is our responsibilities as women. And that is why it is important that we should work on ourselves. That is why we should look inwards in ourselves to ensure that we are like God. We are in the likeness of God, that we are little God, that we are sons of God, that we are heirs, and so that we can be able to reproduce our kind, who are going to be in the image and likeness of God. So every mother should be able to speak positively into the lives of their children right from the womb. The womb is the beginning point of the creation and the existence of everyone on earth. So every mother should be committed to be able to speak right from the womb concerning that child. Begin to pray prophetically. Begin to bless the child. Begin to position the child to ensure that that child manifests in the will of God. So if we have been able to be prophetic, to be able to speak into the earth, into the elements of the earth, and prepare and walk in line with the will of God, our children will manifest in that order. It is our place as mothers, it is in our place as mothers to be able to ensure that we are blessing our children. We are praying for our children. We are being prophetic. We are speaking into the womb of the earth. We are speaking into the destinies of our children. We are opening the channels of hindrances, trying to disagree with some satanic ordinances, with anything that has confronted our lives as individuals. As you've watched over your husband, you've seen the things that have confronted him. You watch over your life, you've seen the things that have confronted you. You watch over the society, you see those things that are ungodly. Then you begin to disagree with them. You begin to renounce them on behalf of your children. You begin to pray and begin to pray in the will of God, the way it ought to be, according to the scripture that God has given unto us. We are mandated as mothers to be able to raise godly children. It is in our prophetic ordination as mothers to be able to raise godly children. So every mother ought to be prophetic. Every mother needs to position their children in line with the will of God. May God bless us.